Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Zach Knapp coming to you here from my CTE classroom out in Eastern Oregon, where I've been teaching middle school CTE for the past number of years with a lot of great things going on in my classroom. I have to tell you, you can get some really amazing things to happen. And probably one of the biggest things that has happened in here over the last little while, like we've had a lot of really great stuff, but a few years ago, we got introduced to this new thing called U Science. And I think you're probably gonna learn more about U Science as time goes on. If you haven't already, I would highly encourage you to look into it. But what U Science is an aptitude testing protocol that gives kids a sense of what they might be good at. It's very much based off of the, I forget the name of that military, the ASVAB. It's kind of based off of the ASVAB test. They go through and they do some sort of obscure things, and it spits out these wonderful things called aptitudes and interests for them in the end, all of which is organized into these, which are career clusters. There's 16 career clusters in career connected learning, if you're not aware. And that is what the U Science stuff is kicking out for them. So we have kids here in 7th and 8th grade exploring what sort of strengths they have, what sort of interests they have in these different careers. And then that becomes a springboard for us to talk about what sort of future potential jobs they might want to have. Now, here is the kicker. What's amazing about this is when you can connect that information to the programs that are going on at your high school. So we've started now really emphasizing with these kids, you know these aptitudes now, you know your strengths, you have some interests. What can we possibly do while we're in high school to help make sure that you're getting the most out of the experience? And this is where I think the real power has come for us. Like, U Science has been phenomenal. It's been really useful in helping us get kids excited about careers and things like that. But when that conversation begins to get really focused on you're going to high school, you have some decisions to make now. What classes are you going to take? What classes are you going to not take? As soon as a kid has an actual plan for a career, now we can really dial in what does the training required look like and what sort of things do they need to be thinking about to maximize high school. Maximizing high school, what does that even mean, Zach? Like, well, okay, let me tell you, here's what I think. I think that once I know what a kid's future potential career is, I can have a very pointed conversation that always starts with this. Are you college bound or not? If your career requires you to go to college, teacher, lawyer, doctor, anything like that, that we know as educators is going to require those kids to have to go get some sort of a college degree. Well, if they know that's what it takes, then I can already tell you some things that you need to be thinking about in high school. Foreign language. You're going to want to be thinking about, does my school district offer some sort of like dual enrollment, college credit sort of thing? If so, I should probably look into that hard because I know I have to go to college to get this job that I want. I know that in the state of Oregon, I don't have to take 4 years of math to graduate, but I also know that I don't want to have to be taking Math 80 as a freshman in college. So I'm going to go ahead and plan on taking 4 years of math and probably 4 years of science too. Even though I don't have to graduate, I'm going to use those things as electives to help me be prepared for this transition into college that I know is coming because I have this career goal in mind that goes along with college. That's a huge conversation that you can have with middle school kids and give them a massive sense of purpose for why they're choosing the classes they're choosing and how it's going to help them with their future because they have a plan. Yeah, but Zach, some of these kids maybe aren't going to college. That's right. A lot of them aren't. We know we're not going to college. Okay, now we can use this time to start figuring out what exactly is it that I might need for future job skills based on my plan. For example, my oldest daughter is interested in being a baker. She's kind of got this entrepreneurial mindset. She wants to be a baker and maybe own her own bakery someday. She doesn't need to go to college to do that, potentially. So she's already thinking and making decisions as a freshman this year about which electives she's choosing and why she's choosing them. We don't have a culinary arts program at our high school. We're a small community. So she took an art class. Why did she take an art class? because she has to decorate cakes and decorate cupcakes. She needs to learn a sense of color and schemes and design schematics and all of the types of skills that an artist will use to make really beautiful cakes and pastries and things. So she's looking at that class as an avenue by which she can gain skills that she can apply to her future career. For the same similar reasons, she's also taking the business classes. Why? Because she's going to be in the business of baking. She wants to run a bakery business. She already kind of knows how to cook, so she doesn't need a culinary arts class. What she doesn't know how to do is run a business. And so she's taken the business classes because she's trying to get some foundations on some of the basic aspects of business. They're talking about things like advertising, doing social media campaigns, all sorts of different computer technical skills that will help her design marketing products and other things like that she hasn't learned yet. Is it a baking skill? No, it's a business skill, but she knows that's what she wants to do. And so now she has relevance for why she's taking the class. It's not just something that she's doing. It's something that she's doing with a goal in mind. I need this so that I can be able to do this. Okay, so let me close you out with how we do things here. Just a really quick overview of what we're running. So we're running a full-blown middle school CTE class here in my district. Every student in our small middle school, we have about 150 kids. They all come through 7th and 8th grade. They're all coming through my CTE class. And we're running a modular-based approach where we have students working at different stations throughout the room, doing different job skill-related things, exploring career clusters, getting their hands dirty, and actually doing stuff. We do some culinary arts stuff in here. We do a little bit of mechanicking in here. We do some basic design schemes, and see, we got fashion design and all sorts of different stuff. It doesn't have to be complicated, but it needs to be hands-on. In my opinion, this is 100% me. There are other ways to do it, but I think the excitement for this comes in the hands-on aspect of things. So we have kids in a dedicated class where they are learning about careers. We're talking about careers. It's activity-based for at least 50, 60% of the time. So they're kind of excited to come in and do the fun stuff and play with all the cool tools and toys and microscopes and engines and video design and all this crazy stuff that we have going on. That's getting them excited about work because we're using real tools that people in the professional avenues utilize. We try our best to get them out in industry and let them see what a working environment looks like. So they're talking with actual working professionals and just really, really, really drive home this notion that everything we are doing here is about getting you ready for a future career. That's how you need to be looking at education. Education is about you preparing for your future as, a potential working employed person, business owner, whatever it is that your dreams are. And when you do that with kids, you get the kind of results that I've already talked about in this video, where they're excited about their learning because they have a reason for being here. It's that age-old answer to the question, why do I have to do this? Why am I here? That's why, because we're learning about careers. We're learning about your future skills. We're learning about things that you need to do to get where you want to go and have the kind of life that you want to have. I never, ever could have imagined that we would be having the kinds of conversations we're having with middle school kids, or that we would be sending kids to high school. Like our 8th graders now leave here knowing what's expected of them in high school deeply, like they know what they have to do to graduate. But even beyond that, they're looking at high school as what I really feel it is, which is a stepping stone to whatever is coming next for them. And when you look at high school as not the end goal, it's just the next step in the process that's getting us to where we want to be, all of a sudden things have a lot more relevance and the conversations get a lot more dynamic and exciting. So I highly encourage anyone who's thinking about it to do the career connected learning thing. It is phenomenal and we're having great success with it here.